and welcome to another episode of Cut the Core Lunch and Learn series. I am your co-host, Joanna Rincon, here with Cedric Lafleur. Welcome, Cedric. How are you doing today?
I am always doing great. You know that.
Awesome. That is great. Well, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time, a new Cut the Core Lunch and Learn series will release. Now, make sure you download the show notes as your takeaway gift, right, Cedric? We're going to put
Absolutely.
those down in the link below, okay? So make sure you get that. So you might ask, what is Cut the Core? Well, it is a 30-minute training that airs on our Facebook, YouTube, and IG pages. And it's going to elevate your mindset. It is going to help you set goals. It's also going to help you to get outside of your comfort zone. Now, this training, Cedric, it's going to help you. It's going to help people start saying things like, I'm already good enough. I earned it. I am smart enough to do it. I am just because I am, Cedric. Well, not only that, this training, it's also going to help you to get the it factor, visualize it, pray about it, plan it, work it, live it, and most importantly, don't give up on it. See, today I am really excited, Cedric, because we are going to be discussing connecting with people, the leader's greater skill. I absolutely love this topic.
Yeah, and I absolutely love it as well. Facebook is not letting me be great with putting that link in there. So I'm going to have to put that link on my Facebook page, and I'll put it on there here during the show. And then you can just go to my page and download it. So I'll be able to do it from there. Hey, so, connecting with people is definitely the leader's greatest skill. I love what Gilbert Emilio said. He said, developing excellent communication skills is absolutely essential to effective leadership. He says the leader must be able to share knowledge and ideas to transmit a sense of urgency and enthusiasm to others. See, if a leader can't get a message across clearly and motivate others to act on it, then having a message he says, is a waste of time. And it doesn't even matter. And leadership is influence, and connecting increases your influence in every situation. Now, I'm going to share with you the three biggest disconnects when trying to connect with people. And the first one is, I put myself before people. Mm. You see, I love the way Zig Ziglar put it. He says, if you help people get what they want, they will help you get what you want. Connecting is all about other people. Now, don't you just love that, Joanna?
I love it. I think it's so true. When you help other people get what they want, you definitely start seeing results in what you want as well. It goes back to that same topic we were talking about last week, right? The advanced attraction. When you set your mind to do things for other people and to help them, somehow, some way you attract other people that help you to get what you want. So I absolutely love that quote from Zig Ziglar.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. The second thing is, I neglect the 3 C's of communication. The first one is clarity. The second one is continuity. And the third one is creativity. Now, let me ask you this, Joanna. Have you ever had a time where you just disconnected with someone and you could tell that you were disconnected with them?
Absolutely. I mean, I certainly remember times back when I was working for the hotel, having sometimes conversations with people, and sometimes they're looking at you, but they're not really seeing you, they're looking through you, right? So you can tell that there is a disconnect, that they're thinking about something completely different. I could definitely relate to that. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works. But the first one on clarity is the first one is putting myself before other people. The 3 C's of communication is clarity. And Lee Iacocca said, you can have a brilliant idea, but if you can't get the message across, your ideas won't go anywhere, right? People, they're just going to fall on deaf ears. And he said that the results of clarity is it helps people prioritize. And the second thing is it gives people confidence. And I absolutely agree with that. And communication is one of those things. It's sort of like being that kid in the second grade. So the kid that's in school that's second French horn or the second trumpet, right? They just got to communicate a little bit better. They got to keep practicing. They got to keep working on it. That's exactly the same thing. Same thing here. The second one is continuity, right? So you can't communicate enough. Experts say that you have to tell the average adult something 6 times before they internalize it. Now, that's a lot of times, Joe. The challenge becomes communicating a message in such a way that it only has to be communicated one time. See, wow. That's the biggest thing. And continuity is achieved by consistent words and actions. Right. Joe, there are times that it reminds me of entrepreneurs when we talk about having consistent practices and taking massive action. Right. And when you see people being consistent in their words and their actions in their business, wow, it's amazing what happens. You start seeing things in their life. And I know somebody that I know really well that has been like amazingly consistent in their actions. And you have been.
Yes, no, I can certainly attest to that, Cedric. Once, the key word here is consistency. Once you, and my business name is Internal Alignment. That's the internal alignment that you need in your life. When you align your thoughts, your words, your feelings with your actions, then you start seeing results. And I absolutely love that. And you can tell the difference. You see the difference in your business and you see the difference in your pocket as well. So
hey, when you can see the difference in your pocket, then that means everything right there, right? That means you're taking the appropriate actions. And the third C that people forget sometimes is creativity, right? See, to keep the message moving with energy, people need to be provided with experience, expression, and an example. See, experience is something that you do that connects them with the vision, right? Take them on a trip, take them on a journey so they can experience it. The second one is expression. See, sometimes you say something that connects people to the vision, right? You have to be able to help people see it and connect to it in different ways. And the third one is by example, something that they see that connects them with the vision. People are visual learners, right? How many of you out there right now listening to us are visual learners? If you're a visual learner and you need people to help you in visualize something by giving you an example, just type in the comments visual. And if you're one of those experiential learners, type in experience. If you need people to take you on a trip, then type in experience. I just want to see what our audience has to say out there, Joanna.
Absolutely. I love that. And so let's go ahead and review. I have 2 more disconnects, Cedric. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm born ready.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to share 2 more disconnects. So pay attention. And by the way, since you're already in the comments typing some things there, if you think this teaching is already adding value to you, go ahead and leave us a heart in the comment. And of course, share it with your contacts. Don't keep it to yourself. If you think this is going to add value to someone else that go ahead and share it, please. Yeah. So here we go. Number 3, disconnect number 3. I underestimate the value of listening. You see, Cedric, I have discovered a long time ago that instead of trying to impress others to be interested to them, I should be impressed and interested in them. You see the difference?
Absolutely.
And that can only happen if we become listeners of others. You see, the ability to listen It's the foundation to building positive relationships with others. And it is also a vital it's also a vital skill in communicating effectively, Cedric.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, John, I see people that they're just really just want to talk and just want to hear themselves talk, right?
Mhm.
And you can't get a word in edgewise, so you just sit there and you think they're getting ready to take a breath so you can jump in, and but they keep going.
Right.
Leaders that are out there like that. I'm sure somebody out there, you have a manager or a director or somebody that they just love to hear themselves just so chop, 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 chop,
Yeah.
chop, chop. And you think they're going to take a breath, but then they just chop, 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 chop. And you're like, oh my God, can they shut up for a second, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's like, are they going to give me a chance for me to say something like already?
Exactly.
Absolutely. You see, I'm going to share, Cedric, with our audience 5 key results that come from listening, okay?
Okay.
So here's number 1, show respect. I like this joke by Edgar Watson Howie. He says, no man will listen to you talk if he didn't know it was his turn next.
Right.
How funny that is, right?
Exactly.
It is crazy. But unfortunately, that describes very accurately the way too many people approach communication, Cedric.
Mm-hmm.
They're too busy waiting for their turn to really listen to others. And here's why. They don't pay attention because they're too busy thinking what they're going to say next, right?
Right.
That's what happens. And I mean, I'm guilty of that sometimes. I'm listening to the person, but I'm actually thinking, okay, what am I going to say next? And
I was wondering sometimes when I'm talking, if you're listening to me, or you just
there's always room for opportunities, right? And for growth. So I definitely need to focus on that too. Here's another result of you obtain when you're a good listener. It builds relationships. When you become a good listener, you're able to connect with others on more levels and develop stronger, deeper relationships because you're meeting a need, Cedric. We all want to be listened, and that is a need out there.
Mm-hmm.
It also increases knowledge. It is amazing how much you can learn about your friends, your family, your job, the organization you work in, and even yourself when you decide to really listen to others. Cedric, I definitely think that's why God created us with 2 ears and only 1 mouth. What do you think about that?
Yeah. When I was little, I didn't listen a lot. I was always ta cha 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 cha. Yes, but I did learn that. That's why I have 2 of these. So I try to listen a little bit more now.
For sure. All right. So here's another result you get when you're a good listener. It generates ideas. When you're a good listener, that gives people an opportunity to share their thoughts. And if you listen with an open mind, there will always be a flow of new ideas, Cedric. And even if you hear ideas that won't work, just listening to them can very often spark the creative thoughts in you and in other people. It's sort of like your creative being wakes up. And that's the importance. That's why we need to let people talk and share what they're thinking. And maybe they have a great idea. Maybe spark that really good idea in you.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that. Also, last but not least, it builds loyalty. Practicing good listening skills, Cedric, draws people to you. Everyone loves a good listener. So that's why you attract people when you are a good listener. And if you consistently listen to others, valuing them and what they have to offer, they're likely to develop a strong loyalty to you, Cedric. Even, okay, and here's this, even if your authority with them is unofficial or informal, some great benefits. These are some amazing benefits. So I think we should definitely pay attention. And not only that, we should practice good listening.
Yes, I know a lot of people that need to practice good listening skills out there.
Well, here's the disconnect number 4, Cedric. I failed to initiate important but difficult conversations. Now, I'm going to say this right now. This part right here can be very difficult for someone like me. You know, I am an F personality style in the DISC assessment, Cedric. And one of the things that we're known for is to avoid conflicts at all costs. So for me, that's something that I could definitely say that it's difficult sometimes to have this difficult conversation.
Well, let me tell you what, there's a lot of people out there that are afraid to have difficult conversations. And folks, I'm telling you, today is time to have difficult conversations. So you need to get ready for it, because we're going to tell you how to do it and how to have that difficult conversation.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. You must balance care and candor. And I love that. I'm going to say that again, Cedric. You must balance care and candor. Okay. Care without candor creates dysfunctional relationships, Cedric. Now, candor without care creates distant relationships. But care balanced with candor creates developing relationships. And that's what we want. We want to balance. We want to develop those relationships. Now, the key principles here to learn, it's that caring values the person, while candor values the person's potential. You see, caring establishes the relationship, while candor expands the relationship.
So you mean I have to actually show people that I care about them?
Absolutely.
First. Okay.
Every day, all day.
Okay. All right. So I'll have to remember that. All
yeah.
right.
And then last but not least, Cedric, caring should never suppress candor, while candor should never displace caring. I think it's so important that we reflect on that today.
All right, I'm gonna have to remember that now, folks. She said, care, you got to balance care and candor when you're getting ready to have these difficult conversations. Now, who is out there afraid to have difficult conversation? If you are, just say, I am. All right, just type in the comments, I am, if you're afraid to have difficult conversation. Hey, Edward Garden II, we're watching you. We see you out there. Thanks for tuning in. So, you know, we're going to share with you how to conduct these difficult conversations, or crucial conversations, if you will. But Joe, you know, people have a hard time with this difficult conversation thing. Not me, though. I'm just like, I'm just going to tell it like it is. I'm going to be straightforward. I'm going to be direct. I'm going to let you know.
I know you don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, because to me, it causes too much confusion. You got to give him some nice words, and little Johnny, you're doing well. No, Johnny, you're horrible. No, I won't say that. But
you gotta give a little bit of anesthesia. Come on.
So I just always wonder why people struggle with having these difficult conversations, right? So if you're out there in the audience, you want to share with why you have a problem sharing, having difficult conversation, definitely share that and tell us. Now, let me tell you this. There's this one girl that she was off at college, and she was having a problem with having difficult conversation with her parents. So here's what she did. She wrote this letter and says, "Dear Mom, since I've been away at college one full semester, I think it's time to bring you up to date as to what's been going on. Just shortly after I arrived at college, I got bored with dormitory life, and I stole $10 out of my roommate's purse." Now, Joanna, now you know right there, my blood pressure already going up, right?
There's no problem.
With the money, I rented a Honda bike, and I crashed into a telephone pole a few blocks away from my dorm room. She says, I also broke my leg. It's just getting worse. She says, but no worries. I was rescued by this young doctor who lives upstairs in the apartment house at the corner. He took me in and nursed me back to good health and set my leg. And thanks to him, I'm moving around again. Now imagine you getting this letter from your kid who's away at college, and you're thinking, why didn't she call me to tell me this, right? And she says, I wanted to let you know. And so this is the girl continuing to write the letter. She goes, I wanted to let you know that we're going to be married as soon as possible, since we're having trouble with the blood tests because there's this disease that keeps showing up. Now, I'm already, it's on now. I'm picking up the phone, calling. I may have my keys in my hand. She says, we do hope, however, we will be married before the baby arrives, and we will be home shortly thereafter to live with you and Dad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, imagine that, right? Because I know you will love the baby as much as you love me, even though he's of a different religion. Okay.
Oh my God.
Please try to understand the reason we're having to come home and live with you and Dad is because my doctor friend wants out of medical school because of all the attention he is giving me in my condition. Right. And then she goes on to further write. She goes, really, Mom, I didn't steal $10. I didn't steal $10 from my roommate's purse, nor did I rent a Honda bike, nor did I hit a telephone pole, nor did I break my leg. Now the parent is calming down. Now it's like, okay, all right. She says, I didn't meet a young doctor of a different religion, nor are we going to get married. So now you're like, whew, all right, thank God. All right, there is no disease, there's no test, nor there's not no baby to worry about, and we won't be home to live with you and Dad, and he won't either. She goes, Mom, it took a lot of energy to write this letter. I'm getting a D in geometry and an F in geology, however, and I wanted you to take these grades in their proper perspective. See, that's a kid that's a millennial or a iGener who's afraid to have that difficult conversation with their parents.
Wow, talk about getting creative to deliver that news.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah, I'm getting a D or F, but it could have been all these other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, I love that.
That story kind of reminds me, it's kind of like you have mixed emotions. It's sort of like watching your mother-in-law drive off a cliff in a Cadillac, right? You got mixed emotions about it.
Oh my God, Cedric, you're getting a little cruel now.
So what I want to share with you is, on a serious note, here's how to conduct difficult conversation. There's really several things that you need to do. First is you got to have a meeting as soon as possible. You got to share with them what's going on. Albert Schweitzer says, truth has no special time of its own. Its hour is right now, always. Right? You just got to be ready to have it. Right? The second thing is you got to assume good motives. See, don't go into it with bad motives on your mind or bad intentions on your mind. Whenever you're in conflict with someone, there's one factor that can make the difference between damaging your relationship and deepening the relationship. And that whole factor is attitude. The way you go into the meeting, right? If you go into it with good intentions, you can come out with it with good intentions, right?
Yep.
But when you get ready to have you probably had an argument with your husband, and you get ready to have that argument, and boom, y'all both, it's game on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you go into it with good intentions, then it's going to be okay. Same thing in work or with colleagues or whomever. The third thing is you have to offer observations of specific behavior. So you got to be able to give them some observations on you, but you got to be specific. You can't say everything, always, everybody, right? The fourth thing is you have to explain the negative impact of those behaviors. And then the fifth thing is you have to ask for their side of the story. You want to understand their side of it, right? Peter Drucker says erroneous assumptions can be dangerous. And you heard that song from Michael Jackson, right? Dangerous. I'm not going to sing because y'all all go to sleep.
All right, Cedric. All right, here's another point, Cedric. Find points of agreement. That's also really important. And then you also need to set out a future course of action. If you don't both agree to what needs to happen in the future, then you will both be frustrated. Because the truth is, you cannot hit a target you have not identified. So that's really, really important in this process. And then the other thing is, validate the value of the person and the relationship. I love this great quote by Goffey. He says, treat people as if they were what they were oath to be, and you will help them become what they are capable of becoming. I absolutely love that. I'm going to say that again, Cedric. Treat people as if they were what they oath to be, and you will help them become what they are capable of becoming. I absolutely love that, because sometimes, you know what, Cedric? Sometimes people just need somebody to tell them that they are great and that they can do the things that we can all do, that they have all these superpowers within them to do everything they set out their minds to do. And so that's why I love that quote so much, because it goes back to human potential. We all have this potential, but sometimes we don't believe in ourselves. So I think it's really important that we show them that with, the best way possible.
Yeah.
And the last thing here is also express your commitment to help. Sometimes the greatest value a leader can add to another person, it's telling them the truth, showing them where they can grow, and of course, helping them change. Taking the approach that you take, be direct, and then just tell them. Don't get so creative like our friend from the story. Just be direct and let them know where there's areas for opportunities, and then help them be genuine and help them grow and change. I think it's really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I went in and I put the link in the comments, so you should be able to download that now. The comments are there. I'll put it on my personal page as well.
Awesome.
I know you'll be able to get it from YouTube, but basically what we're doing is we have a handout for you, and it's going to help you be able to have that difficult conversation. And there's some questions that you can ask. And, one of them says, have I invested in a relationship enough to be candid with the person? Yes or no? Do I demonstrate that I value them as a person? Right? Am I sure that that it is their issue and not mine? Mm-hmm. Yes or no? See, it's going to help you. This handout is going to help you have that difficult conversation and set yourself up for success. So go ahead and make sure you download that. So now here are some connecting strengths, and I absolutely love connecting strengths for several different reasons. But one of them is, I value people and they know it. See, I'm putting a 10 on everybody's head. See, every time I talk to Joanna, I put a 10 on her head versus putting a 1 on her head, right? Every time I talk to someone, you got to expect the best. Joanna said it early. They're going to rise to your level of expectation. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you put a 10 on their head, they're going to rise to a 10. If you put a 1 or 2 on their head, you know what they're going to do? They're going to rise to a 1 and 2. Right. Simon Sinek says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Oh, wow. Man, I absolutely love that, Joanna.
That's powerful. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why every business needs to have a why. That's why you need to have your why in your business.
Absolutely. And why are you in existence? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right. It's wonderful when people believe in their leader. It's even more wonderful when the leader believes in their people. Mm-hmm. You see how that works?
Yes.
It's just a wonderful thing. So the second connecting strength is, I believe and I live what I communicate. See, credibility precedes great communication. Oh, man, that just makes me feel good when I say it. Credibility precedes great communication. See, there are 2 ways to convey credibility to an audience. First, you got to believe in what they say. Second, live what you say. First is you got to believe in what you say. And then second, you have to live what you say. See, you can't just be out there telling people, go do this, go do that, and go do this, and you're not doing it. Mm-hmm. You see, that's not credibility. right? And you have to be able to walk the walk, walk the talk, however you want to say it. And people know when you're just saying stuff versus you're actually doing it. See, that's why, Joanna, everybody that's in the 100K club, they notice that when I say, hey guys, go do this, it's because I'm doing it. Right. And it's very intentional and on purpose. See, I can teach theory all day long, but that's not going to get people money in their pocket. The application is going to get money in people's pocket. This is why I like to show people, here's what I did. Here's why I'm telling you to go do it, because I know that it's going to work. And I've done it. Right. I'm not going to tell you to go do something that I won't do.
Yeah, got to lead by example. I absolutely agree with you. You know, you set the example, you set the tone for what you're teaching us in that club. And I think it's very powerful, because sometimes you give us certain strategies and things, and we look at it the first time, it's like, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, go ahead and do it just like that, because you know what? It's going to work. It's going to get the results you want.
Absolutely. It's kind of like a woodpecker in a petrified forest, right? You just got to keep busy and keep looking for opportunity. And that's what the woodpecker's doing, right?
Yes.
The second thing is, the third thing is I simplify my message. Communication is not just what you say, it's also how you say it. Right. My grandfather used to say, Joe, he said, Cedric, you can send people to hell. It's dependent on how you send them, if they're going to enjoy the ride or not. He says, if you send them in a Cadillac, they're going to enjoy the ride. He said, but if you send them in a Pinto, they're not going to like it so much. The key to effective communication is simplicity. You can't get overcomplicated. You can't use all these big old words that people don't understand. Got to keep it very simple. See, I'm a simple guy from South Louisiana, and we don't believe in all these big words, except for jambalaya. That's different. But just keep it simple, baby, and we're going to keep rolling. See, forget about impressing people with big words and complex sentences. If you want to connect with people, keep it simple.
That's right.
Do this, not this. We're gonna be wrapping up here in just a little bit, but how do you conduct tough conversations? That's really what we focused on in this session and this week, and we want to help you put your words into action. So go download the document that we gave you in the link. See, we began talking about 4 mistakes leaders make early in their leadership walk regarding the ability to connect with others. The fourth and the final mistake we shared, and the one that resonated with me the most, was failing to initiate important but difficult conversations.
Yes.
Right? See, we wanted to address this because this is a challenge for a lot of people, and many leaders make this mistake early in their career. In fact, it's not one that many of us continue. It is one of the things that many of us continue to make today. So for this month's application piece, and this is what that download is, we'd like you to take a closer look at 9 action steps on how to conduct a tough conversation, and exactly what we can do within the next with these steps to make our bonds stronger in relationships and our professional growth. Now, we're coming up on Thanksgiving tomorrow, right? So this is a perfect time to have the difficult conversation, right? Because sometimes you may get that cousin or that uncle or that third leg auntie coming over there trying to get that plate, right? And they want to leave with 2 or 3 plates instead of just 1 plate. And you got to have that difficult conversation. Uncle Bubba, Auntie Skeeter, we're not going to have that today.
That's a great example. It's a real life example, and it's certainly something that we need to take into consideration, sometimes. And that's the thing, Cedric. A lot of times we avoid having these difficult conversations, and then it becomes a bigger problem. It's like a snowball effect, right? It gets bigger and bigger and harder, and then when you want to do something about it, you can't. It's too late. It's kind of too hard to navigate. So I absolutely love that, and I think it's a good example to follow for.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Trelonda Hartley is out there listening, and definitely try those strategies. They're definitely creative, and they definitely will help to have that difficult conversation with people. And thanks for tuning in today, Trelonda. It's a great friend from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Kenrick, I see you out there listening. Dr. Michelle, I see you out there listening. Hamadou, I see you over there listening as well. Thanks you very much for tuning in. I'm so excited to have you guys here today. And Joe, give a shout out to our audience.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, I'm super excited. I guess it's the holiday season, and it's a great opportunity to, we always have to be thankful, Cedric. I say I'm always thankful no matter what. I'm thankful for God, for everything that He gives me and everything He takes away from my life, right? So I just want to encourage everybody, all our audience, to also, even though this year has been a crazy year with a lot of uncertainties, be thankful for everything you have, and for the things that you don't have today, because you know what? Maybe that's not really what you needed, and what you needed, God, it's going to put you right in front of you. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you for your support. And of course, if you think this teaching added some value to you, go ahead and share it, and and share it with someone, because somebody else might need it too.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. So I know we've stayed over our welcome today, but we wanted to make sure we come into your life today and provide some value as we get ready to go off into the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm so excited that you tuned in with us for another series of another session of Cut the Cord Lunch and Learn series. And you know what, folks, let me say something. I just have to say this. I am so excited that Joe decided to come and be a part of this. This just makes the show a whole lot better than just listening to old boring Cedric talk about some subject, right? And audience, I know you guys agree with me. Go ahead and type in yes in the comments. Yes. Because we want to make sure that she comes back every Wednesday at noon to be here. She's a busy woman. But we want to make sure that she puts time on her schedule for Cut the Cord Lunch and Learn series. So thank you, Joanna, for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's my pleasure, and I love it. And I'm definitely looking forward to being here with you.
Awesome. And I see people putting in yes in the comments there. So you know what that means. You got to come back. You don't have a choice now.
Absolutely. I will be here. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, that is awesome. Well, I want to tell you, I want to leave everyone with a personal message for Thanksgiving. And Joanna, I'll let you close out the show. But thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate you. Our goal is to help you and your teams go to a higher level. We just want to serve. We want to hear. We also want to hear from you. If there's something that you would love us to talk about, we want to hear from you. Just go ahead and tell us in the comments, and we'll definitely make that happen. You know what? One of these days, if you want to be a guest on Cut the Cord, then you just let us know in the comments as well. You can raise your hand and say, I want to be a guest. And guess what will happen? We will invite you to be a guest on Cut the Cord Lunch and Learn series. You would just type in I do and put your email there, and we will send you an email, and we'll get you invited on one of our next shows. So Joe, go ahead and won't you close out the show for us?
Absolutely. Well, we wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving, and have a great weekend and a great day. And we'll see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time for another segment of Cut the Cord Lunch and Learn series.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Goodbye. Eat a lot of turkey. Eat a lot of pie. Send me some too. Bye.
Bye.